What is going on, everybody? And in this video, we are giving a state of the market and stock picks for April 29th, 2022. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing as I do provide daily and weekly updates to get you prepared for the day and the week ahead. Now, currently, we are watching Apple earnings. They just came out with essentially the report. They beat on everything. But we are waiting on forward guidance. Forward guidance has really been what's killing everything. Amazon, they essentially got nailed with, I think it was a $7.5 billion whack or haircut from the Rivian deal. And their forward guidance is not good either. They've actually guided down, so they're dumping at the moment. So this, as far as state of the market, what really matters is if Apple, as long as we have some sort of safe haven, which Apple can be and has been in the past multiple times, and Facebook pushing up, Microsoft holding, Tesla trying to make a comeback. Tesla would also be up if Elon wasn't trying to buy Twitter. But nonetheless, we still have good earnings on a lot of the big companies. Amazon, even though it did bad, we'll have to see how the market digests everything and how we open. Again, we do have the FOMC tomorrow. That doesn't mean, or not tomorrow, but next week. So with that being said, we could still actually probably have a pretty bullish day going into tomorrow and into next week. I myself will not swing anything only because of the expectation that things can change very quickly, especially after 2 days. It's a lot of information that could come out that could potentially make the market dive. But again, ultimately the market right now, the market state is getting through this week, getting over next week, and then making whatever move we're going to make at that point. So tomorrow we have to again see how we open. So if we can actually jump over to SPX. SPX top of range and actually started selling off. We had a lot of earnings. BA is actually taking a major whack yesterday as well. So I didn't bring that up in the last night's video, but they've been selling off pretty heavy. That's played a lot on the index. The banks are holding very well, so that helps the general index. So we got to see if we can break the 43 point tomorrow. If we can do that tomorrow, again, I think we could possibly make up a lot of this selling that we had, possibly get at least back up to the 44, maybe even attempt the 45. I think the 45, if we're really going to start going bullish, I think we're going to need at least 2 days to be able to do that, although I think we can make a pretty decent move up to 4,400 if we start getting bullish tomorrow, especially with Apple leading the pack. Could be a strong possibility. But we have to see how that plays. Again, we don't really want it breaking the 41.51 mark. I don't really see this coming down tonight, but you never know. We have to swing back around in Apple and see if they have announced forward guidance and seeing where that takes us, because right now it is essentially wicking back and forth, which is funny. But nonetheless, those are the levels I'm watching on SPY. Bitcoin, just to go over that real quick, it's starting to push back up. Good sign there. Again, the market in general is good. Again, you get a lot of headlines that are driving the market down. Fed threats with hawkish action does not help either. So you got a lot of different things going off at one time. And then coming into next week, you get the FOMC. So you're going to get some sort of selling, whether that's Monday or Tuesday, and then go from that point. Again, watching bond buying on there. So, but Bitcoin looks good. Again, in general, it's been playing along with the market, and it looks like we have a break. As long as we can hold essentially above that 40K mark, I think we start pushing back up. We did try to retest that 42K mark and got rejected. So this time we might get a small rejection and then just start pushing up. So interesting to see. Again, I think Bitcoin is very strong. Crypto is very strong going into the weekend. Might get a nice push with this to market sentiment in general. But again, ultimately, we need the Fed to really make any kind of massive move, in my opinion, whether it's all-time highs. Again, I don't think we're going to hit any low lows anytime soon unless something changes dramatically next week, which is always a possibility. The market just may digest things really bad. The bond buying stops. We could sell back down again. So again, there's a lot of things going on between this week and next week. And so, and then from that week, a lot of people leave out for the summer. So being said, the market kind of dies out a little bit after this earnings. And then you get that rotation typically where things will die off moving forward. But we'll have to see. Like I said, earnings doesn't stop next week. You still got a lot of earnings ahead. It's just a big week that needs to get out of the way and digested. Fed meeting out of the way, digested, and then we can make a move from there. So going into tomorrow, again, the biggest one to be watching, again, in my opinion, would probably be Aapl. Facebook really didn't do a lot today. It attempted to kind of push up. It's actually above the 20 EMA on the daily. I had the nice push yesterday after hours. Key level to watch is the 208 tomorrow, especially if the market in general pushes, and this has already got a leg up and held today. This might actually have a nice rip tomorrow. Could be a strong possibility. Again, now we're kind of looking at the stocks that did well and try to continue with them going forward. So they did well. So I'll be watching Apple, Facebook, Tesla. Again, there's still always that news about Elon and Twitter. So this can really sway the market. You really have to be careful with Amazon or Tesla, even though it did really well. It's going to be very volatile until they figure out what exactly is going on with Tesla. If Elon's going to sell his shares to be able to purchase a Twitter, if that thing gets approved, there's a lot of things that have to come into play. But again, it's still all really fresh news. So this can still, again, sway the market very much. So just be mindful of that. Again, I think if we do start breaking down, we break that 800, we'll see that 750. I don't really see us breaking below 722. I don't think we have enough news. Unless the general market starts selling, I don't think we can really break past 722. So we'll have to see how that goes going forward. And then we'll head back to Aapl. Aapl, still not a lot of forward guidance yet. This is the one you really want to watch tomorrow. If we do get good forward guidance and this thing wants to start ripping, it could be really good in general. You do have a wedge here as well. Maybe what's rejecting, could be what's rejecting Aapl right now. This may be concerning. This is kind of what we saw with Tesla. We had a kind of wedge like this. And then what ended up happening is the next day, the general market sentiment is just bad in general. And so the price action wasn't there. The buyers weren't there. The sellers won, obviously. And then Tesla came crashing down. Could be the same scenario playing out with Aapl here. People just wanted to know what happens typically on earnings. And then from that point, they can sell off and then kind of build that anticipation for next week after we get the Fed. And then we could get our rally is kind of what I'm thinking. If we do get a rally tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me. But if we sell off, it wouldn't surprise me either because I think that rally would wait till after the Fed. Otherwise, if we do break out, I think we could do we could put in a nice little run going into the Fed. But then I think we're going to stall chop probably one of those days next week, if not two of those days, until we hear from the Fed. So definitely have to see how that does play out, how this opens tomorrow. Again, this wicking, I think it might be tagging that line. Could be a strong possibility. Then you got this trend line coming up as well. So if this opens flat tomorrow and it can't break and hold above this, I can see this selling off. If Apple's, and this is what I'm going to say, like I said about Tesla, if Aapl starts selling in the morning, that is your cue that the market general sentiment is bad and the market's just going to sell off. So just be mindful of that and see where that goes. But that's pretty much what I got. There's not a whole lot I'm watching tomorrow. Right now, you need to be focused on the leaders. Again, we have the Fed next week, so that is what's going to be concerning and what is going to drive the market. So right now, people are putting the money in safe haven just for the time being. So again, we might get a quick rally and then see what the Fed has to say. So if you've made it this far, I appreciate you. Go ahead and drop a thumbs up. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.